Good morning, one and all. Welcome to my channel Technician. As we discussed earlier in the last video, the VLAN concept, how to create and configure different VLANs. Today we'll discuss. There is a situation like we'll scale the networks without disturbing the existing resources. So now we'll discuss about the scaling networks. So for that, I will take one more switch. Like I will place one more switch here. Now the same kind of situation scenario will replicate here also by taking the end devices like PC, laptop, laptop, and this laptop. So as we discussed earlier, now I am scaling the network by taking one more switch and by taking 4 end devices, and I configured all the end devices with IP addresses, the same IP address family what I used in the previous network, the same kind of IP address I'm using, like first network 1.3 and the second network 2.3, third network 3.3, and the fourth network, fourth VLAN, that is 4.3. In the same way I'm going to implement here, and in the same way I'm going to connect the end devices to my other switch, like the first interface, first one, and the second interface, third end device to third interface, and fourth end device to fourth interface. Now I successfully connected all the interfaces now. So the same thing what I done in the first network, the same thing I have done in the second network also, but the thing is here there is no VLANs. Now we need to create the same set of VLANs what we were created in the previous switch. Go to configuration mode and create VLAN 2, VLAN 3, and VLAN 4. Now I successfully created VLANs. You can check the VLAN status. Show VLAN brief, because I am sitting in the other mode. So for that I am adding a prefix of do show VLAN brief. You can get the status. Now VLAN 2, 3, 4 are created. Now it's a term to associate VLAN 2 with 0 by 2, VLAN 3 with 0 by 3, and VLAN 4 with 0 by 4. For that we need to convert the port mode to access mode from the dynamic mode, because all the ports are presently by defaultly in dynamic mode. So for that we need to enter into interface mode of particular interface FA0 by 2, switch port mode access, the same commands what were applied in the last configuration, like switch port access VLAN 2, and interface, the other interface FA0 by 3, switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 3, and switch interface FA 0 by 3, sorry 0 by 4, switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 4. Now I successfully assigned 234 to VLAN 234. Now you can check the status. Do show VLAN BR. Now the interface are separated from this interface. Okay. Now the thing is, in the last video we have done all these configuration. We successfully created the VLANs, and here in this video also we have taken one more switch. We created the same set of VLANs. Now the thing is, we need to scale our network, like we need to take an uplink between the two switches, then only those two networks behaves like a same network. So now I am uplinking. For that I am going to take a gigaport on the switch, giga 0 by 1 to giga 0 by 1. Now if you see the uplink which is connected to switch 1 to switch 2, see enable configuration T, show VLAN brief. Now see, the default VLAN is connected to Giga 0 by 1. Okay, now default VLAN means my uplink is present in the VLAN 1 and I had a VLAN 2, VLAN 3 and VLAN 4. Now how my VLAN 2, 3, 4 traffic will be sent to the other VLANs which are present in the other switch? That is the question now. See, if you want, you can check now the communication now. VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, the communication is success. Now you got here. If you want, you can check again. VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, the communication is success. And even though they are sitting under the same VLAN, like VLAN to VLAN 2, the communication will be happened, but it will not happen here because of the port, the uplink port which is presented here is VLAN 1 and the communication we are trying to do is VLAN 2 to VLAN 2. So that's what we need to create one more uplink from here to here. So if I want to maintain one more uplink from here to here, it is very difficult. Means if we have n number of VLANs to create n number of uplinks, that is very costly and it is very redundant also. So that's what we are going to have one more port, that is nothing but I'd like to convert the uplink port whatever I used here to trunk port. Initially it is a dynamic port. Now I am going to convert this port to trunk port. Now what is trunk port? Trunk port is nothing but the port which is used to load the traffic from the VLANs which are sitting under the one switch to the VLANs which are sitting under the next switch. Means all the VLAN traffic will be traversed through a trunk port. That is the functionality of a trunk. Now here I am using a trunk protocol called DTP, that is dynamic trunking protocol. With that protocol I am going to configure the trunk port configuration on one switch. Automatically it will be assigned on the other side. Now if you see, already we have seen like that the default VLAN is belongs to Giga 0 by 1. Now Giga 0 by 1 is belongs to default VLAN. Now I am going to separate this one from the VLAN 1. So go to conft and interface Giga 0 by 1. Initially it is in dynamic mode. Now I am changing the properties to switch port mode trunk. I am doing the trunk mode now. Now if you apply the trunk here, the line protocol which is appeared on the interface Giga 0 by 1 will be changed straight to down and up. Immediately it will be up. Means the port status will be changed from dynamic port to trunk port. Okay, now if I want to communicate like VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, it should. VLAN 2 to VLAN 2, it should. VLAN 3 to VLAN 3, it should. But VLAN 4 to VLAN 4, it should not. So there is a command like only a particular set of VLAN should communicate with each other and other VLAN should not. So for that we need to go to switch and we need to go to particular interface like interface Giga 0 by 1, and already we applied the that is trunk port configuration. Now I am applying here switch port switch port trunk allowed VLAN 1 to 3. See, I am going to allow the traffic from VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, VLAN 2 to VLAN 2 and VLAN 3 to VLAN 3. Means the respective VLANs they can communicate with each other. But VLAN 4 should not talk with the other VLAN 4 which is sitting under the second switch. So I am giving the command like this. So if you give instead of 1, 2, 3, if you give all the VLANs they can communicate. See, I am giving now 1, 2, 3 only. So now we can check the communication. Take a new package. This is nothing but third VLAN and this is nothing but third VLAN. It is success now because we given a trunk port here. Okay, now VLAN 4 to VLAN 4, it is failed. So if we want to establish the communication between VLAN 4 to VLAN 4, then you have to apply a command called switch port trunk allowed VLAN all. or 1 to 4. If we apply 1 to 4, VLAN 4 to VLAN 4 will be communication will be happen. Means VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, VLAN 2 to VLAN 2, VLAN 3 to VLAN 3, and VLAN 4 to VLAN 4, the communication will be established. But in the future, if any VLAN is added, then the communication again we have to readdress, like VLAN 5 to VLAN 5, that also we have to address. So instead of addressing every time, we can atomize the things by giving a command called all. Means all the VLAN traffic will be allowed. Like, see here, check here, VLAN 1 to VLAN 1, it is success. Now VLAN 2 to VLAN 2, it is success. Now VLAN 3 to VLAN 3, it is success. Now VLAN 4 to VLAN 4 is also success. Now check the other VLAN statuses, like VLAN 1 to VLAN 2, not success. VLAN 1 to VLAN 3, it is not success, because we created VLANs under a switch, that is nothing but it behaves like a different network. That is the main advantage of VLAN. Like, if I want to establish the communication between two different networks, I need a layer 3 device called router, but instead of using the router, I am using the switch, but with a different networks. That is the concept of VLAN. We don't need any router or the anything, but we can have multiple networks, and we can establish the communication, or we can establish the security between the two different networks with the help of a VLAN. So that is the VLAN concept and the trunking concept that we discussed in this video. Now in the next video we are going to discuss, okay, in this video we configured VLAN and the trunking protocol configuration. In the next video we are going to discuss about inter-VLAN routing. That is, now the communication is happening between the liked VLANs, that is nothing but 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 and 4 to 4, like n to n. The communication is happening between those things. Now if I want to establish the communication between VLAN 1 to VLAN 4, at that time we need the routing concept, that is nothing but where we are going to have a layer 3 device, that is nothing but a router. So we are going to use router, and the mechanism what we are going to use with the router is nothing but router and a stick method. Okay, that method we are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you for watching my video. Good to see you.